Hello and welcome to the Christmas Songs from the Heart with Colin and Francisca. We are going to spend a lovely afternoon together drinking malt wine or Glühwein like the Germans call it, eating homemade cookies and singing one carol and one Christmas song. Just the carol will have two versions and I'll explain why. Colin is going to join us, or me, well us, because we are all in it together.
Hello my darling.
Hello.
Hi. Here we are again.
Yeah, thanks for filming.
You're more than welcome. It's what I do.
I wish I could do it, but I can't. I'm terrible at filming. And our living room is looking very romantic and festive.
Very festive indeed.
And it is Christmas. By the time you watch this, it will be Christmas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it is Christmas. Look.
Yeah, it is Christmas all around us. They say Christmas can be when a man wants. I think it's the Portuguese who say that.
When a man wants it to be.
A woman.
Or with you, it's always Christmas.
Thank you. As long as there are presents,
Oh.
I am happy. And Christmas has always meant a lot to me. Christmas with family. My grandfather had lots of grandchildren. We didn't all get together because a lot of them lived in Africa. So, but there were always maybe a couple who were in mainland Portugal visiting, and we'd get all together, big table. My grandfather had a maid, because those times you still had maids. Lovely lady, was as old as my grandfather, and she could cook. But the most amazing is she was called Francisca, and my grandfather was called Francesco.
Oh
so,
my Lord.
yeah, it was amazing. And I loved getting together with family. There was no present exchange or anything, but we'd sit around the table with my grandfather's farm, big table. Francisquinha, as we called her, the little Francesca, because she was very tiny. Would have cooked the most marvelous dishes and desserts and everything. And I remember one year there were 13 people at the table. So my grandfather asked the caretaker to have dinner with us. So that we'd be 14. Actually, it wasn't dinner. I think mostly we went there on the 25th for lunch, I think, and not dinner. But okay, he took a little bit of time away from his family, and he joined us, and we were his family as well, and it was beautiful. But in 2016, we went to Portugal together.
We did. I will never forget it. Christmas
amazing
with you and your extended family in Portugal was absolutely amazing. It was wonderful Christmas.
We even met family I didn't know I had. I met them through Facebook, and they were marvelous people. Well, they still are marvelous people. We are still in contact through Facebook, but we had the joy of meeting them, and so they were family of my grandfather, and somehow they found us, and so we are proper family now. We visited my cousin Maria Luisa and her family, her children, grandchildren.
Yeah.
It was a fabulous Christmas.
It was a great, great Christmas, never to be forgotten. And it was similar for me too over the years. Christmas has always been important to me as well. And here in the UK, it was always one of the very rare times in the year when the whole family would get together for the big Christmas Day meal. I know some people called it lunch, but it was a big dinner. and in true Sharman standards and levels of organisation, people called it lunch or dinner. It would typically start
Last
about
all
3
day.
o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and that was the rest of the day, yes. And there'd be presents afterwards as well.
We never exchanged presents.
Because the grandparents, my grandparents would be there, and brothers and sisters would be there, and then, of course, as we children grew up, there was various wives and husbands as well.
And their children.
And some children of theirs as well, so grandchildren, so... Yeah, and it was always a riotous
And you
occasion.
didn't give them any grandchildren.
No,
That's
no.
mean.
No, my brother and sister were busy doing that. Yeah. You don't need too many grandchildren.
True.
No.
They are expensive.
And I was busy
Nowadays you have to give presents to
much
everybody.
too busy doing other things.
Shall we drink to
Indeed,
Christmas?
to Christmas.
This drink, this mulled wine is called Christmas cheer. It has
How
a
appropriate.
lot of rum, red wine of course, water. Funny enough, it doesn't have any sugar, and
No.
then a little bit of cinnamon
A sprinkle of
and
your magic.
grated nutmeg on the top. I haven't tried it yet, so do as if
Cheers,
you
my
like
love.
it.
Of course I will like it. Cheers, my love, and
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Cheers, readers. Viewers. Why did I say readers? I don't know.
Well, there is something to read on the TV screen this time.
It's
That
amazing.
you might
This
have-
is amazing. This is no mere mulled wine, I can tell you. This is amazing. In fact,
I'd still add some sugar.
maybe a little bit, but I can honestly say, absolutely honestly say, this is the first time I've actually enjoyed mulled wine in my entire
It
life.
smells lovely.
Because normally it's too sweet for me, normally.
By the way, it was also baked in the oven with a lemon
Oh,
with cloves
so here you go.
stuck on it.
Christmas recipes as well now. The unique and the best mulled wine, or glue
Ever.
wine, ever. Mm.
I think it sounds better as glue wine because
Glue wine.
if you say glue wine, it looks sounds like wine with glue. By the way,
That's often
suppose-
how it tastes.
no. You have shown the TV screen.
I've
You
shown
made
the TV.
that beautiful screen. Last time TV was black, didn't
Yeah.
look very good.
Not so
Now
good.
looks very festive.
Good, good. I need to be careful drinking this. That's why I have work to do this afternoon.
I'm going to sing, so sing and be merry.
Yeah, indeed.
So the first carol I'm going to sing, which I'm going to sing in two versions, so it is same carol. It's called Silent Night. And
Beautiful.
why Silent Night? Because it means a lot to me. First, it is a beautiful carol, but most carols are beautiful, so... but this one is particularly beautiful, and many years ago, I think 2001, I was working as a photographer and travel writer. Not a dream job like everybody thinks.
It's pretty glamorous job, I would say.
You work pretty hard as well.
Yeah, of course.
And I was sent to Austria in the winter to Salzkammergut, it's the region of Salzburg, and I discovered the story behind Silent Night, which is fascinating. There was a lot of poverty in the 1800s. 1818, I think. I should have checked. 1881.
1818 or
I think-
1881.
I think it's 18.
So there was some 8 involved, yeah.
I'm not very
Sometime in the 1800s.
with all those details. And the Napoleonic Wars were going on and everything.
That would be 1818 then,
18.
not 1881.
No.
He wasn't around then.
Oh, but he could have left his legacy behind.
Yeah.
He was pretty bellic. Do you say bellic?
Panic?
Bellic? No. In Portuguese, when it's about to war, we call it bellic.
Oh.
But
Oh, he was very bad.
And in the middle of the beautiful Austrian countryside and mountains and everything, there were two little villages, Arnsdorf and Oberndorf. And I think the priest was the same in both. And Arnsdorf had a little school, and the school teacher played the guitar and was very good writing songs. And the priest Joseph Moore was very sad because there are a lot of stories around this and nobody really knows what happened. But the most romantic is one day he had a meeting somewhere, walking home in the evening. He looked down at the village, and the village was so pretty. Probably was very early evening, otherwise you wouldn't have seen much. But the village was so pretty in snow, and he remembered that the organ was actually had been nibbled by the mice and the rats, and so was not functioning at all. Everybody was suffering a lot with all the war going on. It's winter cold, and he thought about the text that he had written years prior to that, not many years, because I think he was still quite young. And he thought, with that text, if we have somebody playing the guitar, which would be Franz Gruber, the teacher of the village, we'd save Christmas Eve. We use my lyrics, he writes a song which became Silent Night, and everybody will be a bit more cheerful, at least for one evening. He talked to Franz Gruber, who of course said, I'll write it. He probably had an inkling that you'll be famous and remembered forever.
So the first Christmas #1.
True. Just they probably never knew that. And it was performed for the first time in a village nearby, Oberndorf, which is absolutely, the whole region is idyllic. In a church that unfortunately doesn't exist anymore because with floods the church went into disrepair, so they built a little chapel, and every year since then on Christmas Eve, Silent Night is performed live in that chapel. Maybe somebody could invite me to go there and sing a solo.
Maybe somebody could. Yeah, maybe.
Magic, maybe.
Magic happens.
Oh, to sing. There's probably a choir. It is a very, very small chapel. I was there, and it has 2 stained glass windows with a photo of each gentleman. And on Christmas Eve, a lot of people go there, so they stand outside in snow. I think I'd start crying. I loved.
No doubt.
Oh, so I shouldn't put a lot of makeup on. I loved that trip hugely because I was walking around in Arnsdorf first, and you didn't hear anything, not even my footsteps in snow. Then I went to the local inn for a medieval meal, medieval or of that time, I don't know anymore. This was maybe in 2001. But it was absolutely smashing, and because I sing these 2 versions, I thought, why not sing one at the beginning and one at the end, and we'll show you what you can do with any song that makes it quite different.
And of course I should ask you, who arranged the vocals for these 2 versions? I thought so.
They often do. And the first one I'll be singing with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, which is a favorite of mine. I wish they one day would think of me and would say, you love our performances so much, come and sing with us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
yeah, they should invite you,
I'd be happy if any choir would invite me, because I've never sang live with a choir. And I love all those voices, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I used to sing in a choir, but I don't have the time anymore. But I love choirs. So?
Wonderful, wonderful. So, here we go. To you, and to you.
To everybody, and to you. I'll still add a little bit of sugar.
It's never quite perfect for you, is it? Never quite perfect. Right, well I'm going to get ready to film you singing, and you can introduce the song to the viewers. See you later.
See you later, alligator. I shouldn't talk about alligators with Christmas, I suppose. Silent Night.
Holy night,
beautiful. Really beautiful.
I really love singing this carol. And so later we'll have another version. And in the meanwhile, maybe we can try our spiced ginger
Now
Christmas
you're talking.
stars, which I made yesterday and decorated today.
These look spectacular. Thank
Which
you very
decorations
much.
do
Look
you
at
prefer? You have
these.
holly, you have
Look at
sparkles, you
these.
have stars, you have
Fantastic.
a bit of everything.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And congratulations on a beautiful version of Silent Night. I loved
Thank
it.
you. I love it too. I really love it.
These are wonderful. Yes, indeed.
By the way, this noise is not Colin drumming because Colin
No.
is here. There are two of them. It's the
Luckily.
rain outside on our conservatory. If it was snow, you'dn't hear it.
If it was snow, maybe we'd film a bit outside in the snow, the Christmas snow, but no. The rain is pounding down outside now.
Yeah.
At least we are nice and warm and dry in here.
And we had prepared everything, so we
Yeah.
decided to go ahead with filming.
Those are really, really tasty. You have excelled yourself again.
They were quick to make.
Yeah?
Take quite a while to decorate, I have to say.
That's your magic. That's what you do so well.
So tell us more about your Christmases.
So, yeah, I did mention about the what in the end became the legendary Sharman family Christmases. For many years they were hosted by my parents, and they would have a big dining table, and there was 4 children, so I'm the eldest of 4 children. So when we were the children, there would be 6 of us around the table, plus...
And I am the second of
plus-
4 children.
That's
That's why we are well matched.
Indeed. And there'd be my 2 grandparents as well, so it'd be 8 of us around the table. And and I nearly forgot, the legendary and infamous Auntie Joan. My father had a sister, Auntie Joan. We all loved Auntie Joan when we were children.
Very tall as well.
Yeah, she was very tall. She was very tall and very slim.
Because Mr. Sharman, I've never met him, but I tell you, he was tall.
He was even taller than me. He was up here.
So his sister
Yeah.
must have been...
And his sister Joan was a similar height to me now, actually. But the reason we all loved Auntie Joan when we were children so much is Auntie Joan literally never stopped laughing. She was literally a laugh a minute. She just livened up any room she walked into and would start telling jokes. She'd be laughing at anything and everything. And you just couldn't help but laugh along with her. She was a lovely, lovely lady.
Aww.
And she lived into her 80s, and the official story is she never got married. In fact, I found out many years later into my adulthood that when she was in her teens, late teens in the Second World War, apparently she secretly married an American serviceman here in Wales. And at the end of the war, no, actually not an American, a Canadian serviceman.
A lot of girls did.
And at the end of the war, he went back to Canada, and for reasons that never became clear, she didn't go with him. She stayed here. So the rest of her life, she was single. Whether she ever got divorced, I don't know. But she never had another partner or a husband or even a long-term boyfriend in all
We
her life.
could even find who it was she married.
Oh, that would be very difficult, yeah.
No, I suppose it must be registered.
I suppose it must be somewhere, yeah.
And
yeah.
contact his family and, you know.
And so...
You'll be that as well.
Oh, well, yes, he probably will by now, yes. Yeah. And so, so there we would all be around my parents' big dining table, and especially with Auntie Joan being there. And my father had a great sense of humour, and there was 4 riotous children. So it was a very noisy affair. There was lots of laughter, lots of games after the meal. There was a lot of food, lots of presents. It's something we looked forward to all through the year. And then as time went on and the children grew up and became adults, some of us started to host the traditional Shaman Christmas. I hosted it a few times in my house. My sister Andrea hosted it in her house, which is a bit strange actually, having Christmas in Andrea's house, because it was a nice house, but Andrea's husband was actually the manager of a cemetery. And
well, somebody has to be.
The house was in the cemetery.
Yeah.
So it was quiet, I have to say, it was very quiet, but it was a bit weird having a Christmas celebration in the grounds of a cemetery.
On the other hand, it's quite nice because the souls maybe took part
maybe
in the celebrations.
Maybe,
I think it's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I used to be very afraid of cemeteries and freaked out, but I see it differently now. You know, it's people like us who are free of this life now, or maybe they have come back. I don't know. They have been resurrected.
Resurrected. Very good word. And this particular cemetery was quite famous. It was on the outskirts of Oxford in England, and the reason it was famous, and bearing in mind that my sister Andrea and her husband Hugh lived in the house at the edge of the cemetery, was that the famous author J.R.R. Tolkien was buried in this cemetery.
Wow.
So they used to have tourists coming from all over the world, especially Japan and America, to come and visit the grave of J.R.R. Tolkien. And at first, when they first moved into this house, when he became the manager of this particular cemetery, at first there would constantly be people knocking on their front door saying, "Can you give me directions to J.R.R. Tolkien's grave, please?" It was right at the other side of the cemetery.
And then they put a sign, "Tolkien doesn't live here anymore."
No, Tolkien lives here permanently, forever. So in the end, they actually put signs at the entrance with arrows, "Follow this way to J.R.R. Tolkien's grave," to stop all the interruptions.
So you actually celebrated Christmas with somebody very
With
famous.
a famous author.
Of course, you didn't have me back then, because otherwise you'd have another
Sadly,
famous person.
Indeed.
And we never did.
Thank you.
Now you have my lips marked on your head. It's
I need a drink now.
my engagement ring. One day I'll tell the story, because it's an engagement ring, but
we're not actually engaged.
No, we are not actually engaged, and I received it just when I got to meet Colin. So maybe I should just give a little explanation. It's a gentleman called Warren James. Don't worry, he didn't ask me to marry him. He owns a lot of jewelry shops, and he had a competition on Facebook, and I won this beautiful ring. And then I was in a choir, and the girls said, "Wear it on the other hand, otherwise the guys will think you are engaged and you don't get anybody, proposing to you." And then when they knew that Colin had been to watch one of the choir's performances in a park here in Cardiff, more about it another time, and that we were kind of getting closer, they said, "Now the ring goes to the other hand to show the world the door is closed." And now I just scratched Colin with my ring. But it is said in my family we never exchanged presents. People would go home and exchange in their own homes, but not...
I know in many countries they exchange the presents on Christmas Eve, and Christmas Eve is sometimes more of a celebration.
Yeah,
So I think in America, for example, in the United States, Christmas Eve is as much, if not more, of a celebration than Christmas Day, but not in the UK. It's Christmas Day.
For me, it still is. Christmas Day with my parents, we'd go to a restaurant for lunch.
Oh, really?
There are always a couple of restaurants open, but sometimes we'd go. So later on, when I suppose my grandfather got kind of older, my grandmother had long died. We'd spend Christmas Eve at my parents with my 3 siblings, probably not my 3 siblings because one has lived in Germany forever. And at a certain point in time, my youngest brother was kind of engaged, and her mother and her brother came to us as well. I always found a lot more festive to have kind of other people, family, or like in this case, kind of family, than just spend Christmas, just 6 of us.
Yeah, amazing. Well, yeah, so there's a lot of similarities actually, although not necessarily celebrated on the same day.
Yeah.
So I can't resist the temptation. I'd have another cookie. Would you like another cookie, my love?
Yeah, I think I will. I ate one with stars, although the flavour is the same. I'll now have one with the sparkles.
I'm going to have one with the orange.
And it has
orange decoration.
It has a glazing with allspice. So there is allspice and ginger in the cookies, and allspice and ginger
You are amazing
on
cook.
the
You really are.
glazing. Yeah, well, it came out of a cookery book, so
Yeah, but you make
they are amazing.
They are really good.
They are good, but I prefer buttery cookies, and these ones have no butter.
I don't know. Well, I think they're very tasty.
They are tasty, that's true. And because I never make anything twice, it doesn't matter.
Of course.
Do you want to introduce the next carol? Finish? You're finishing as well.
I'm finishing as well. But what I know because I was brought up to be a very well-behaved little boy, that one shouldn't talk with one's mouth full. But so, I believe the lovely Francisca is going to sing for us next, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Another beautiful song, and very, very appropriate at this time of year.
And in this world as well, because
And especially in this world.
I'm 61 years old, I've never known a lot of peace on this planet, so...
And it means a lot to me because I've always been a pacifist. Right from the age of 18, I think it was 18, when I actually I joined an organisation called the Peace Pledge Union, and I signed a pledge that I would never fight in a war. I'm still true to that to this day.
I'll never fight in a war either. I think I would fight if for no fault of my country all of a sudden was being attacked with bad intentions. I think that would be the only case, and my family would be in danger or something. Otherwise no, because I think the intentions of every war that's going on are always a bit shady, to say the least. So
indeed. Especially in modern times, especially.
I'm going to sing Let There Be Peace on Earth with another choir, the Harlem Boys Choir.
The Harlem Boys Choir.
There are men as well. I don't know whether they are just grown-up boys or another choir joined them, but it is a beautiful arrangement made by themselves. And by the way, with all the copyright problems going on, we don't own the copyrights of any of these songs, but it makes such a difference to be able to sing with them. And also, for this song I made my own arrangement as well. So it's kind of another take on it. So it's good that we can use these backing tracks, although the European Union is trying to kill a lot of creativity, and I suppose we didn't mind paying some royalties, I think that's called, but yeah, we can't pay thousands and thousands of pounds, so it is very sad.
Indeed.
If so many good people creating a lot on the internet, and I suppose there have been enough singers who have been discovered because they busked in the center of town, or they posted something on the internet using third-party backing tracks and third-party songs, even if they played guitar. The song is many times written by somebody else, so
Indeed.
it is sad. Let there be peace on earth.
Indeed.
That's
So I shall let you get ready,
yes.
and I shall go get ready to film with you singing. Bravo, my love. Bravo.
Thank you. So a bit more mulled wine to
Indeed. Keep us going
Merry
to
Christmas.
the concert. Merry Christmas again.
Again, one day we are going to do this live. Well, it is more or less live, it's just not broadcast live because we are not repeating anything, so
But one day we'll do it
yeah. I think
completely live.
we'll
That'll be interesting.
No, well, the only thing is if a candle goes out or something, we just fetch another candle. So for the rest, everything is more or less live. Other than that, this will be posted, I think, maybe on the 24th,
Yeah.
24th of
Yeah.
December, or the 25th at the most. And we have quite a lot of plans this year.
We do. We do.
First, I'm going to sing in the beautiful cafe hostel Nosda here in Cardiff.
In an open mic.
Yeah, well, you don't need to say that
Oh, okay.
to us if it's, important concert.
Oops. Oops.
Once I knew a gentleman, I had some lessons from him in a course for women managers of the European Union, and he said, even if you have just been one day to the university, you say I have been to the university because at the end you have, so you're not lying. So if you just say where you are singing, you don't need to precise. Then I'm going to sing in the Romney Folk Club in less than a week.
Yeah.
Then we travel to Portsmouth.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to sing in a club where I've never sang, called Jags
119.
119. There you go.
In Portsmouth.
With a lovely lady singer, Lauren, whom I've not met yet.
I have.
Because she came to our concert in June. And I was very ill, so I couldn't sing. And I didn't go because I had a lot of infections, so I couldn't even attend. And so Colin knows Lauren, and I am going to meet Lauren. And that's on the 23rd. And then on the 24th, if it's not raining cats and dogs, we are going to busk in the centre of Portsmouth in England, where she lives. So we are actually going abroad.
Yes, we are. We're going abroad.
And we'll be busking some 45 minutes each, so it's quite a few songs. And if I like busking, I'll be doing it more often.
Well, that could be interesting. Classical crossover operatic busking.
That almost sounds like a cross-dresser.
Oh no.
Crossover singer.
That's better. Yeah. Yeah, so.
That will be our Christmas, and then we stay there in a beautiful hotel.
Yeah, and then we're staying in a lovely hotel.
Resting.
Near the New Forest for Christmas itself.
The New Forest, but then all the trees are very, very tiny.
No, they're not. They're very old. That's the funny thing about the New Forest, actually. I haven't actually told you this about the south of England. So there's this very traditional area, it's quite a large area of forest called the New Forest. And the funny thing is,
because
the trees are, it does have some small trees, it has some huge trees. Because the forest has been there for thousands of years. And it's still called the New Forest.
Yeah, I'm still a teenager, I've been here for quite a while. And
Yeah.
And I think that we could exchange a couple of presents, shall we?
Could.
We have a lot of presents under the Christmas tree.
We could.
It is like a family lives here. Well, it's a family's 1, 2. And then I'll sing another version of Silent Night.
Yeah.
And this one is very special because a while ago I got to know a lovely guitarist called Ernest Kwok. I'll post the link to his channel because the music is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
And we watch each other's videos, and maybe 2 months ago I came across Silent Night and I loved his arrangement so much that I asked him if he would mind if I would sing it and would make a video, and I would sing it in my performances as well. And of course, although Ernest is recorded because he's all the way in Singapore, but he's present now. He actually plays the guitar all over Wales and England. And who knows, maybe one day, either we fly to Singapore, either Ernest comes here and we can finally perform together. So Ernest made his own arrangement, I made my own, and this is a different version. The first one was with orchestra, big choir, and this one is very simple. I suppose like Franz Gruber meant it,
probably
and
is.
Joseph Moore, just the guitar. I suppose the whole congregation would be singing, but here is just me.
And I also find that Ernest's guitar arrangement is absolutely beautiful, and then combine that with your vocal arrangement and it's absolutely irresistible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think on my channel and this channel people have been liking it a lot, so I'm very glad. Yeah, it's lovely. So, shall we?
Shall we indeed?
Have you already made a close-up on the Christmas tree? I suppose you have.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Yes. Who starts? I don't even know. What should I choose? I don't know.
Well, I'm going to choose for you. So I'm going to choose a present for you.
Ooh, I love presents. And I love presents before Christmas. I've always loved opening a present every day and not necessarily waiting that long. Oh,
Happy Christmas, my love.
Thank you. It even has a card. Oh, thank you. Although I'm thanking before I know what it is. To my darling honeybee, Merry Christmas from your babes. It's honeybee and babes. Actually, not because we like people calling each other's babes, but because we dislike it, that we find it so funny that we call each other. Oh, I call you babes.
Yeah.
You call me honeybee. I don't remember where the honeybee came from.
I remember they came together at the same time. We came up with honeybee and babes at the same time we did.
I think honeybee, there was a lady on the X Factor that was something bee. Just not honeybee, something. I don't remember. Lovely paper. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Ooh, look here. The gentleman has good taste.
Ooh.
Then the question is, does it fit? It comes with a little bag against moisture.
Take that.
It is a Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
Actually, we had more or less chosen it together, but I thought we had gone for the one with the red.
Nice, it's a surprise for you.
So I'll have to try it on and see how it fits, because...
So happy Christmas, my love.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Buying on the internet is always hit and miss.
Not where I'm involved.
I hope you...
But if it doesn't fit you, maybe it'll fit me.
It would look very good on you. So, let's see what Santa brought.
Oh.
Yes. You know, I have a little crush on Santa.
Ah, thank you very much, my love. What on earth could this be?
Guess.
Yes.
What do you think it is?
It's a Christmas cracker, and inside it's going to have a big bag of sweets. No. It's going to have a bag of baked stones. It has got a bag of baked stones.
Welsh cakes.
Wow.
They are homemade.
Wow, look
Not
at
by me.
these. So these are a speciality in Wales.
Yeah.
You don't get these anywhere other than in Wales. And they are officially called Welsh cakes. However, in my family, and I don't even know the origin of this, but in my family we've always called them baked stones.
And I am against it
I
because
love
a baked stone doesn't really inspire you to eat anything, but there you go.
And I love them, thank you very much. Well,
They
that's
are
Christmas
homemade.
sorted for me.
And
Homemade!
Yeah,
Wow.
not by me, but they are
Wow, thank you very much.
from
Thank you.
Cardiff Market.
Mm,
A lovely lady. Because a while ago we filmed Cardiff Christmas Market we filmed a lovely stall of a lady who sold the homemade marshmallows a friend of hers makes. So without telling each other anything, a couple of days ago we happened to be in town, we kind of separated. And we both went looking for the stall, which was not there anymore, because they hired stalls for a week or 2 weeks or a few days or I don't know. And the marshmallows were gone.
No more marshmallows. No.
And when I said to Colin, the marshmallows were gone, he said, I was looking for them as well. Aww. So shall we open another one or?
No, I think we have to finish now with the carol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have the rest of Christmas itself. You have to wait. Not easy in your case, I
A
know.
present every day sounds like a good idea. So I'll be singing Silent Night.
With Ernest Kwok's guitar arrangement.
Yes. Ernest Kwok, guitarist.
Indeed.
Francisca Rigaud singing.
Right, let's get ready.
Ready when you are.
beautiful.
Thank you. And it was a pleasure to be accompanied by a friend, even if it is from another continent.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, everyone, and a Happy New Year to you all.
By the way, give here Rudolph, you know. Santa could not be here because Santa is very, very, very busy, and
Rudolph is.
Rudolph does nothing until Christmas Eve, so he's about to fly to the North Pole, and in the meanwhile, he's having fun with us. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Goodbye, and see you for a new Songs from the Heart.
Songs from the Heart
in
next
January.
Time. New Year one. Bye.